hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. And, well, I was thinking about going back and talking to Rab to see if he's had enough time, but no, I don't need to make another joke out of this. So instead, we'll just talk to our other characters and see how they're doing. And there's Sylvando. And this is who I really want to talk to, Jade. Come on, Jade.
Eleanor.
Tell us some stuff. Hi.
You weren't supposed to see that. I was just thinking about Lady Eleanor. I mean, your mother. Why don't we take a little
you got
walk?
some splaining to do.
My mother was a rather sickly soul by all accounts. She died not long after I was born. So in a sense, Lady Eleanor was the only real mother I ever knew. She used to read me stories, take me flower picking. I loved her so much.
Oh, so she
You can
adopted
imagine how
you.
happy I was when I heard she was having a baby. I couldn't wait to meet my little brother.
So you're our adopted sister. Okay. Well, that's not quite the twist I was expecting,
You know,
but...
it was raining like this the last time I ever saw her. I can't believe how much time has passed since then.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 16...
Wait,
Oh,
up there.
don't worry, they don't see us because they are that incompetent.
Something tells me they're looking for you and your friends. And there's only one kingdom that can send that many soldiers out on a manhunt. Heliodor.
There's only one
Come on.
kingdom that actually
We need
cares
to get back
to.
to the others.
Yep, let's get back to the others. Now, unfortunately, looking at the mini-map there, I'm getting all turned around. They're like, no, wait, that's the way back. No, it's not. Between the cutscenes and the appearing... Yeah, you guys know me in 3D areas. Oh, well, that's not... How'd they even get over there without walking right past us?
From the altar.
Seriously.
No sign.
There's only one path to get over there. Heck, for that matter, they all had to go through that well.
Either. Blast! They must have got away. It's him!
Quick, kill him.
He's over here! The Darkspawn is over here!
Or you can just stand there while he's
For
yelling.
goodness sake.
Now,
What shall
here
we do
we go.
with the girl? Sir Hendrick's orders were to bring the Darkspawn back alive. He never said anything about anyone foolish enough to side with him.
Why did they want Jace alive? I thought they were going to execute him. Incompetent soldiers are incompetent.
I can't be expected to take her on alone. Sir Hendrick! Sir Hendrick!
This is literally the most competent the
We'll head around the
Heliodorian
mountain and meet up
soldiers
with the
have
others
been.
before he gets back.
Okay, so now we're going back down the mountain the way we were just told not to go. Whatever. And another cutscene is kind of silly. Like, we literally did nothing and there's another cutscene. Like, why not just have cutscenes for that? I don't get
Have
it.
you at last, Darkspawn? There is nowhere left to run.
Yeah, now we get to deal with Hendrick. You
You are
guys
a
just don't
slippery
quit,
one,
do
I will
you?
give you that. I had not thought you would make it this far after I picked up your scent in Octagonia.
Now it's this tactic again.
Men, the Darkspawn is mine.
Now, is this
Deal
going to
with
be
the
a battle?
Forward!
Okay, post-commentary spoilers. No, it's just a cutscene. But a pretty cool one at that. I have been enjoying the cutscenes of this game.
This is all the dreaded child of darkness can muster. Pathetic.
So you're complaining because he hasn't already killed you or something? Really? You want him to stab you? Jace, buddy, you need to pay attention. Oh, this isn't gonna be good.
You will evade me no longer, Darkspawn. The chase ends here.
Ooh, call down lightning and strike his sword. Come on.
Hendrick! Don't you dare!
Hendrick was having
Princess Jade?
flashbacks.
Surely not.
That surely is. Uh-oh.
No! Hold on!
Princess!
So, Hendrick knows Jade. Well, this just got interesting.
I won't let you go again.
That's very sweet, but, yeah, from that big of a fall, you should be dead. But this is, you know, a video game, so we can't have the hero die here. Then we wouldn't have a game anymore. Wouldn't that be something if they made a game where the hero dies in a cutscene like that, and it's just like, oh, nope, that's the end of the game. That's all, folks. And then they tell the tale about how the evil just ravages the world, and then the game just ends. I mean, that would throw everyone off. Oh, hi, Jade. Why is it that
good.
all the
You're
other
awake.
people always wake up before Jace?
I'm soaked through. Let's get warmed up, shall we?
Well, you've been out in the rain. Plus you went swimming.
I'm glad I caught you. I couldn't have forgiven myself if...
Yeah, I also question the physics of
If it
being able
happened
to
again.
catch up to him from diving down the cliff
I
after he had
suppose Red must
fallen,
have
you
told
know,
about
several
your mother.
seconds earlier.
She sacrificed herself to save you and the Princess of Heliodor. Well, you've probably worked it out for yourself already, but I was that princess. Your mother saved my life.
Oh, wow.
That night, the night Dandrasil fell, we ran from the castle, but the monsters were too fast. She handed you to me and distracted them for long enough for us to get away. She died to save us. But even though she trusted me with you, I was too weak and stupid to... I fell in the river and I let you go.
Oh, we can't really
Can't
blame
tell
you
how
for
many
that.
times I've wished that it was you Ram fished out of there and not me.
You were still
After he
just a
found
child
me, we headed
yourself.
back to Heliodor. We thought my father might help us to find you. But when we got there, we found out he was telling people I'd been killed by the Luminary. He was trying to make people believe awful things about you.
And this was
Brad
apparently
was
like
convinced that he
16
wasn't in
years
his right
ago.
mind, that someone must be controlling him.
But didn't the king, your
So we
father,
set out
recognize
together to
you?
find out who and why.
And then that kind of punches holes in the whole, oh, the
I never
Luminary
expected to
killed
see
my
Hendrick
daughter
again.
nonsense.
Let alone on the battlefield. We were lucky to get out of there alive.
And suddenly it's daytime again.
Looks like the rain's dying down. We should head back to Dundrasil.
Yeah, we gotta find the rest of our crew. But isn't what's his face Hendrick still and his men still swarming the area? Alright, well now we have Jade following us, and she is a guest character for right now, and yeah, just make sure, yeah, we only have Jace. And I'm gonna drop a save here. Because again, I have no idea what's gonna happen. For a moment there, I was expecting Jace to have a one-on-one battle against Hendrick. And we tilted the camera just in time so you could see the treasure with the mini-medal. Always explore the nooks and crannies. Hi there, dear. Oh, hey, is that... Oh, this is a new enemy. This is a grump stump, or a stump grump. And since we hit him, he wakes up. But it's okay, we're gonna go Super Saiyan, and Jade has a spear. Maybe that's the intended weapon that they mean to give for Jade to have, but that's not what we're gonna be doing. Yeah, you saw that I bought claws back at the casino. But we have to wait till she stops being a guest character. Okay, nothing else new here, so let's head back. We have another cutscene. Yeah, why not? Did you hear that horse? Oh, Hendrick is still horsing around.
So I was right. I had suspected it would take more than a mere fall to put pay to the Darkspawn.
Well,
Sir Hendrick.
you're wrong, because we're not the Darkspawn.
Can it really have been so many years since that fateful night, Princess? To see you alive and well, you cannot imagine how much this pleases me. But should you choose to continue to side with the Child of Darkness, you may not live for much longer.
Why don't you wake up and listen to reason?
I know how you feel about duty, Hendrick. How could I forget? You don't understand how important this is. Please, you have to let us go.
Why don't you listen to
You would
reason
ask
and
a
come to
sworn
understand
knight of
that
Heliodor to disobey
the one you
orders
call
of
the
his king?
Darkspawn isn't
You
actually
have
the
been away from
Darkspawn?
home too long, girl.
Not long enough for the years to have changed you. Still loyal to a fault. I wish it didn't
Yeah, no
have to come to
kidding.
this. but it has.
Oh, here we go. Jade's got some pretty sweet moves here.
Impressive, Princess. The spirited young girl of old has grown into quite the warrior maiden.
Oh, please. I'm not a child anymore. It'll take more than a pat on the head to distract me.
Again, Jade has some pretty sweet moves. But, Hendrick kind of has the advantage with all the armor and the sword and being on the horse.
Dark spawn, I will have no choice but to destroy you. Yeah.
Quick, hit him with a flashback.
Princess.
See, you can't do it.
I'm sorry.
Nice trick.
Get on. Now hold on tight.
You'd think at some point
Princess,
Hendrick
what
would
have
listen
you
to
become?
reason, especially coming from Jade. Hendrick, you need to stop and consider if you're on the wrong side of this. Like, what evidence do you even have that Jace has done anything wrong? Literally anything. Oh, hey, there's the rest of our crew.
Look!
There you both are. And in one piece, too.
Well, that's
Just
kind of
about.
how we
Well,
prefer
thanks
to be.
Hendrick and his men.
So it was old Hendrick, was it? I thought it might be. I would have liked a wee word with the rascal, but I doubt he'd have told us much. Well, if even he's out for your blood, the forces of evil must have a stronger hold in Heliodor than ever. It wouldn't be the first time a once glorious kingdom had been brought low by monstrous powers, you know. Many years ago, a dastardly fiend destroyed an entire empire with his wicked ways. A legendary evil named Mordegon.
Mordegon. That must be the main evil villain.
His story is all but forgotten these days. I had to tramp halfway around the world just to learn his name.
How could it be forgotten if he hasn't been killed?
He's the one behind all this. Dundrasil, the troubles in Heliodor, everything. Which is why you're going to have to stop him, laddie. The fate of the whole world depends on it.
Oh, I am
You're the
all
luminary,
for that.
after all. You were born to defeat the Dark One. But you'd be more than foolish to face him unprepared. He's a master of darkness, the like of which the world has never seen.
Yeah, and we're like level
Then we
23?
must make our way to Yggdrasil as soon as
24?
we can. The legends of Arborea tell of a means of fighting the darkness that can only be found there. Veronica, that must be why we're supposed to take him there, mustn't it?
Here you are, laddie. It's yours at last. You'll be needing it if you're to make your way to the World Tree. If anyone can get this old stick to show us the way, it's you. Lead on, Luminary.
Alright, so are you two officially joining our party yet, or what?
Well, can you see anything?
Don't tell me it's a dud! If that Noah sent us in a wild goose chase, I'll throttle him!
Oh, use some common sense for once, Veronica.
Before we wasted a zillion hours chasing it halfway
it wouldn't have been sold for tons of money multiple times halfway across the world
let's
if it
not
was a
jump
fake.
to conclusions. Why don't Jade and I join you, and we'll see if we can't make our way a bit closer to Yggdrasil and try again. We'll not give yous any bother, I promise.
Oh, I've been wanting you to join with us. So absolutely. Alright, so we have some skill points to deal with. Yeah, first look at the HP on Jade. That really surprised me because I was not expecting Jade to have that much HP. And we are going to bring Rab in for Veronica. Oh, I'm comparing their magical mights, and I'm noticing that Rab's is less. But if that was his magical might in the Tangle Weaver Weber cave or whatever, the last dungeon where he was, if that was his magical might and that was his damage output compared to what Veronica was doing, this is why I question the magical offensive stats. I mean, granted, we've seen that they do have an effect, because we've seen the comparisons between Jace and Veronica's damage output on magic, but I was surprised to see that Rab's is that low. We'll fix it though. We have all these skill points to use as well, and I mentioned that I'm going to be giving Jade the claws. That's because I really like the fighter class with claws. Fighter class from Dragon Quest III is known for high agility, high attack power, and a pretty above average critical hit rate. And so the fighter is a great, basically glass cannon. Eric is kind of glass cannon too. But the fighter will often be so fast and so strong that they'll take out a monster before the others get a chance to strike, or before the monster gets to strike, and that's what I really like about it. And that's physical damage. Now, claws, specifically in Dragon Quest 11, this game, not Dragon Quest 3. This is not true Dragon Quest 3, so don't take it as that. But claws in this game, I found out, deal 2 hits, and the second hit does 1.7, or not 1.7, deals 70% of the damage the first hit will deal. So essentially, every time we attack, we're doing 1.7 times what we normally would, instead of just Eric's, 1.25% with the dual wielding, or whatever he gets from the dual wielding. So for Jade here, I'm going to be looking for claw skills and passive buffs that, like these strength and agility buffs, because that is entirely what the fighters are all about. She really doesn't need more HP. I do need to get that Hawkeye. And we have critical hit chance up. Well, I'll hold off on that. We can always need that later. Yeah, there's tons of other stuff. You know me, I'm not a huge thing about relying on critical hits, but they are very nice when they happen. I wouldn't mind them happening more often, but it's critical hit percentages, or things that only activate a percent of the time, tend to not be the highest priorities when it comes to picking out skills like we can here. I tend to prioritize. Why does he get Strength Plus? We're not going to be doing that. But I tend to prioritize, the passive buffs and the skills that I, want to use. Rab, he can also use claws. We're not using claws with him. He's a magic user. Let them focus on magics. Don't, water down their magic by making them use a melee weapon and then having that melee weapon be a watered down version of, our dedicated melee fighters. That's my theory behind it. Zing Stick. Yeah, that looks like it's guaranteed to revive a party. It is guaranteed to revive a party member. I want it. So we have 30 skill points to use. Let's start using some of them. Yeah, we need the MP absorption when we're building. Staff of Salvation, we don't really need that because he already knows mid-heal, so I'm going to go this way around. I mean, granted, it'll take longer. I mean, I'm not just beelining it right to that Zing Stick, but so it's going to take longer to get to that. But oh, more MP absorption. Yeah, we're going to want that. But in the long run, this is going to be a more efficient use of what am I even trying to say anymore? A more efficient use of our skill points by doing it that way. Okay, so we're kind of out of skill points. So it looks like right now I'm looking at contenders for the skill seeds, and it's either going to be our Luminary or Jade. Because Jade seems to have a ton of passive buffs and claw skills that I definitely want to be getting to. Yeah, the attack power goes down a little bit. It won't matter. We have to re-equip everything that she has here. And since Eric and Veronica are no longer going to be part of our main party here, our main party is going to consist of, Jace, Jade, Rab, and Serena. I'm still going to stick with Serena, even though you might be like, well, you could just rely on Rab for healing. I don't really want to rely on Rab solely for healing because he's not a dedicated healer. Just like, same with Jace. He has mid-heal. I know Rab has mid-heal. I know Serena has mid-heal. Rab's not going to get all of the healing options that Serena's going to get. And I've said it before, I always like to have a dedicated healer on the team. Although I do love situations where we have one or two, backup or supplementary healers, such as Rab and Jace in this case. But yeah, Rab is really filling more of the role of the offensive magic slot, and, with backup healing, and I do like that. I do like that role. If you watched my Final Fantasy World Championship Edition run, it's a hack of the first Final Fantasy game, I ended up with having 3 characters that had healing capabilities on them, and I really enjoyed that. Especially since we're still in a situation where we don't really have group healing. Okay, Sylvando has that one ability, but again, Sylvando's not on my main party, and Dragon Quest, I know the game told us we can tag characters in and out of battle. Okay, honestly, I don't know how to do that because I have not done that yet. But I don't plan on doing that. I kind of forget about that ability a lot because that's not something that I'm used to having in the Dragon Quest games. So I'm just going to ignore that for the most part. I mean, I suppose if I ever get to a really desperate situation, and it becomes profitable to tag someone in, I'll do that. But mainly, I'm going to focus on these 4 characters as being my main party. I just love fighters. I love their high speed. I love their high attack power. High critical hit chance, I should just say better. It's not what I would call high, where every other hit is going to be a critical hit, or that's what I would consider high. But it's still going to be really good. So yeah, they're basically going to get the best equipment, which was most of the stuff that Veronica and Eric was holding, especially as far as accessories go. You know, tough guy tattoo going on Jade, among other things. And yeah, Rab is going to get Veronica's wand. And I'll actually go back through and I'll re-equip Eric and Veronica off camera, give them kind of the hand-me-downs, kind of like Sylvando gets. Just in case I do end up into a situation like we had earlier where I was forced to have Sylvando in that fight against Jasper, I want to have them equipped and ready to do something. I wouldn't mind seeing more situations where, you know, we have like split groups, kind of like Final Fantasy VI did that, where there were a couple dungeons where we had to have 2 or 3 groups of party members traveling through the dungeon, different aspects of the dungeon, and flipping switches so that the others could go by, and that I'd like to see more of that. Those were always interesting to me, and it made use of having, you know, all these tons of characters, so we don't just, you know, lock ourselves into 4 and ignore the rest. Even though that's entirely what I'm doing, but that's how I feel like playing this game, and that's what I do. And here's the spells that Rab has, and he does have Crackle, so we do have, you know, a group spell. We do not have a Bang spell, so we don't have anything that can hit all enemies, but, you know, I think we'll be fine. I like the support options he's giving us. So with that, I'll see you guys next time.